actually don't start in our brain, they start in our aura field because we're all energy. So science tells us that particles go from areas of high concentration to low concentration. So the body is where the particles are high concentration, and that does expand 2 to 3.5 feet outside of yourself. So um, your thoughts are based on what you're feeding yourself and what kind of energy you're allowing around yourself. Mirror neurons tell us that um, you become like your environment. Like when you surround yourself with people, places, and things that align with your highest good and where you want to go, you're naturally just going to flow there. So I think in especially our world today and even before, but I know that the focus is more now because it's the universe is speaking to us like something needs to change, and so we're being given a chance to change. So what comes into our aura field goes into our brain and creates thoughts, and a lot of the time we attach to our thoughts. So we'll think this you take in the information and you'll think this thought I'm thinking is me, which it's not. It's just something you're choosing to focus your attention on, and your thoughts become your reality. So if you want to change your reality and you don't want to live in a negative place, it's very, very important to do affirmations, repetition, just like studying. Anything you do, repetition is what you absorb for yourself, and you actually become that. Bruce Lipton, who is a cell biologist, he wrote a book on epigenetics, the biology of belief. Love him. One of his quotes is, the moment you change your perception is the moment you rewire the chemistry of your body. So when you're changing your thoughts, you're literally rewiring everything that flows through you. So your cells are reacting to each other differently. The neurotransmitters are responding to things differently. And what starts in the mind, people think that the brain is the power center, but what I believe, and from my research, is that it's actually the heart. The heart is like the most magnetic power center we have in our body. So what you're saying to yourself in your mind communicates down to your heart, and that's what you radiate. So if you're radiating fear and you're radiating anger and you're radiating frustration and you're radiating ego and selfishness and all the other things that some of us are choosing to not want to realign with anymore, you are pulling it towards you because it goes out in your energy field. There's one that goes on the top and one that goes on the bottom of your body, and they kind of connect in the middle where the heart is. Now, thought, feeling, and emotion. Thought, feeling, emotion. So it goes down to your sacral chakra as well. The sacral is where you feel things. So if your heart is communicating to your sacral that you feel tired and you feel stressed out and you feel this way and you feel that way, the sacral is the creation center of your body. It's where it's connected to your sex organs. It's literally the creation center. So you are physically creating that reality. Like all those three chakras are working together. So if you're not happy with where you're at and you're not happy with your reality and you're not happy with your love life or the way you feel about yourself or the way your money looks or the way things are going, we become what we think about. So if you constantly feed yourself these lies, they're all lies. God is the truth and God is love. God doesn't speak to you in negative thoughts. God doesn't give you negative beliefs. Those were just we inherit the fear voice from our parents and our parental units. So whatever they thought and felt, they kind of passed it along to us. And I think today is a huge blessing because we have access to more information because of the internet. It's all about how you use your resources. You can use them for good or you can use them against yourself. So I just started studying a bunch of things about affirmations and repetition and writing out affirmations. When you correct the motor sensory part of your brain to to your fine motor, and you're looking at the information that you're communicating on the page through your temporal lobe, it's communicating to your whole cerebral cortex, and you're literally rewriting your whole story. So I know that what is going on right now, a lot of people feel helpless. And I know there are certain things that are beyond our control right now. But the thing is that you can see a clear difference between the people who are aligning with something different and the people who are feeling pulled into it. And I get it because I get pulled into it too. I get the fear. I am not exempt from anything. Nobody is. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, and fear is very real. It's a lie, but it's very real, and it affects our body. It lowers our immune system. So if we're constantly living in fear, we're going to get sick. And if we're constantly communicating these negative things to our bodies, we're going to get sick, because when we're feeding ourselves that, 95% of your serotonin comes from your gut. So instinctually, we want to cover up those feelings, and sadness and grief and loneliness, it's all connected to sweets and saltiness. So when we're experiencing those emotions, that's what we're feeding ourselves, and we're actually blocking our bodies from sending feel-good signals up to our brains. So it's like a vicious cycle. All these things work together. You can't do one and not have the other. You could meditate, you could do the affirmations, you could do all that, but unless you're changing the environment that you're in, changing the people you're around, changing how you interact with other people, changing how much love you give to yourself, and that nutrition is huge with that. It's just, it's going to work to some point, and I believe that if you keep doing it, it will realign you. But sometimes I found myself like I would only want to do one, and that just doesn't work. That's kind of like wanting to get 4.0s in school, but you don't want to study, so you don't study, and then you get the exams back, and you're like, why am I getting these bad grades? Well, because you're not studying. So I think it's just very important to remind yourself that whatever you want to align with, you can have. Anybody can have anything. Anybody can have anything. Anybody can have anything. God's love is not exempt from anyone. No one. The universe is simply responding to what you're telling it you want. So if you're focusing on what you don't want, the universe is merely picking words out of your thoughts, and so it's giving you, if you're like, I don't want to get sick, I don't want to get sick, I don't want to get sick, all it hears is I and sick. I and sick. Some words carry a stronger vibration. So if you're putting out, don't, not, didn't, those aren't really high vibrational words. But if you're putting out things like, I am exuberantly happy for the life I live, I find great pleasure interacting with people who love me. The universe is always supplying me with people who trust in me and believe in my dreams. I enjoy eating healthy. I enjoy going to the job I have. I enjoy spreading love. I enjoy spreading my love for other people and myself. The universe is like, okay, here, and it just gives it to you. No, there is no such thing as a victim. We all create our own reality at all times, point blank, period. Whatever you're allowing in your aura field is coming to your mind, communicating to your heart and sacral chakra, and that's what you're feeding yourself. So I just hope that this video reminds other people and myself that all of this, everything that's going on, is because on a global consciousness level, we were crying out for a change, and God will poke you and poke you. And until you get the lesson, his voice becomes louder and louder and louder. And right now, he is screaming at us. He is screaming at us to start loving ourselves and each other the way we were intended to. Love always wins. Love is the highest frequency. No matter what happens with this, love is going to win. So I just hope we all choose, even me, choose to be mindful and be more loving to ourselves and each other. Thank you for listening. I super appreciate everybody who listens. I am so grateful for the people who have reached out and for the people who have said they have benefited from this, because I benefit just as much as everybody else does, because when I'm talking to you, I'm actually talking to myself, because we are the global consciousness. Thank you. Thank you.